Folks, this live stream is brought to you by my sponsor AAA FX. Now, they're a fully regulated broker in Europe and South Africa, offering Forex indices, commodities, crypto, and over 100 stocks. Now, at AAA FX, you pay no commission on any Forex pair using their ECN Plus account and low commissions on cryptos and stocks. Plus, you can deposit with cash or crypto, get a free VPS with deposits over 5K, and easily integrate the well-known copy trade service Zulu Trade. While you're waiting for the stream to start, go and check them out by clicking the link in the description, comments, or visit AAAFX.com. Here we go, guys. Welcome to the show. This is Cam Hawkins from Trading Nut and Lorenzo Corrado from Lorenzo's channel as well. So this is streaming on both channels. We're on the Trading Nut channel and on Lorenzo's channel. So everyone over there, welcome, and welcome to the show, Lorenzo.
Cam, my man, we're back.
We're back.
Back in the game.
Yeah, back the week after, which is awesome. So, hey, look, I'm so happy to get you here to do this live trading session for my audience. And I know your audience get this on a regular basis. So, folks, we're in for a treat here today. I'm going to hand it over to the capable hands of Lorenzo and let him share his screen and give you guys some trading.
Absolutely, absolutely. Good to have you guys here, man. Absolutely fantastic. I'm really rocking. It's the Limitless community here right now. Let's see. Let's have a look here. Oh, we have over 60 people watching right now. Who do we have in the building today? Amazing. We have Lucky in the building. My man is back. What's up, bro? Petro is here. It's good to see you in the London session today, man. We have Susanna. Good morning. Good morning, Rick. Representing the Limitless crew. We are here for Lolo. Thank you so much for the support, brother. Appreciate you, man. Flavius in the building. Hello, Lorenzo. Limitless fam is here. We have Alexander. Gavin, my man, is here. Man, Gavin, if you want to hop on the show, let me know, brother. Absolutely fantastic. FX Michael, Khalid. Man. Alfano, my man. Oh, man, it's so good to see all of you guys here. We're doing it a little bit different today. We're on Trading Nut channel today. Actually reviewing the London session together. And the reason why this is actually quite interesting today is because, yeah, we can maybe expect some volatility as well. So something different than in the Europe session. Actually, most of my entries, my trades happen during the London session in general. So this is a perfect way of actually starting out and to do it a little bit different than usual. We will also stream the New York session tonight as well, just so you guys know. But for now, it's absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to discuss some setups with you guys personally as well, to see what we can do, to see if we actually can find, some setups together right now, analyze your charts as well. So if you guys are in any particular charts at this particular moment, please let me know down in the chat and we can review it. We can review it together. We are currently looking first at a few different factors. Okay, one of them is, of course, the dollar index. We're looking at the VIX as well. I think the VIX is going to be very, very important today. The correlation between the VIX and the indices are going to be very, very interesting. So absolutely fantastic. Absolutely looking forward to do so. Xavi says, King Low, my man. What's up, brother? I hope you're doing well, man. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's fantastic to have you guys here in the chat right now. We have over 80 people watching already. That's absolutely amazing. So right now, we're looking at a few different setups already. I have picked out a few setups I'm currently looking at right now at this moment. One of them is GU. All right. And the reason why we're looking at GU is mainly because of the Asian session. All right. We have the Asian session. We have the accumulation of the Asian session right here. So if you put on this indicator right here, you can see clearly that we're looking at the Asian session right now. And we're seeing two different areas. Okay. We have an area of supply here. We have an area of supply there. If you draw the flip from this high to this low right here, we nicely coming along with the 62%. We have the Asian high. The question is right now, are we going to get manipulated? Are we going to take out the Asian highs right here to mitigate into this area to potentially see if we can continue our way down further. All right, we know that there is a kind of a negative correlation here between the British pound and the dollar index. So therefore, we really want to take that in consideration. Serious that the potentially want to take price down, on a from a macro standpoint. So we're seeing the correlation happening right now, playing out already in the last couple of weeks, and therefore right now I state that potentially we can continue lower. So this is the incentive right here that we have. If you look at the DXY as well, DXY is looking pretty strong right now. We're actually bouncing off from this area of demand here. We have some area of imbalance that to be filled. What I've personally wanted to see was that we actually came back up all the way here to fill up all the inefficiency there. And then the DXY coming back down, tapping into that area. So therefore, I was actually looking at a little bit more downside for the DXY short term to then take a lot of opportunities. We had GU, we had AU, we had the US oil as well. The US oil is a very interesting one. I really want to discuss this with you guys as well. And the reason why I like the US oil right now is because I know that there are a lot of people trading particular trends, right? So what you see here is a clear trend line. People are trading these trends right here. People are, going short in these ranges right here, putting their stop loss there. We broke the trend. Then you have a lot of traders that actually trade the breakout. Okay, so this is exactly the opposite right there. Oh, give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. There we go. Yes. So we're looking for a lot of people that are actually breaking out of the trend and trading the breakout as well. And not just the breakout, also the retest of that area. So the moment we came back down here, very interesting. What happened was people were like, okay, the retest is complete. We broke out of this trend. We came back down and then started to, perform upwards, right? Going to the 50% right here towards the 104 ranges. So the moment we went there, people got induced to go long, obviously, right? So that left us with, first of all, two equal lows here. Very important. These equal lows contain liquidity, right? Stop losses were underneath this range. So if you can look here exactly at this area, something that I really like to see here is, first of all, these equal lows. We saw the retest, we saw the takeoff right there. So from this moment, people got induced to go long tremendously. So this is what you can see here. People went long, knowing that, okay, we saw the retest completed. Now we're going to go to the moon. And what happened? Boom, instantly reverse price back down. Take out that liquidity underneath that area, tapping into that range. But most importantly, these ranges were very special. The liquidity was built up there, was very important, okay? So what it actually was, let me see if you can find it here. If you can show that right now. There we go. We have a few different ranges here. Let's see. Anyways, these lows here were both New York sessions, okay? These were both the New York session. I believe this was on a Friday and this was on a Tuesday right here. And therefore, it was extremely important that these lows were taken out. So what we see, perfect low taken out here, tapping into that area. And of course, this wick shows exactly what we wanted to see. The amount of stop losses getting triggered right here. Okay, so we took out the liquidity right now. So the question is, what now? What's next for the US oil right here? Well, first of all, we have taken out the lows. The people that got induced to go long here got taken out as well. So we went back down right now to tap into potentially an area of demand right here. So we have an area of demand right here. Very interesting, right? And then we have an area of imbalance underneath that area of demand. And then we have another area of demand here. So we're looking for a potential opportunity right now. As you can see here, these were the New York sessions that were taken out right here. All right. So very interesting. I really want to state that I'm looking for a potential long here right now because I still do believe that we can look for a potential long opportunity there. However, first of all, we need to make sure that, all these people here got induced to go long. They got now probably stopped out here. And if not, they're still stuck in their position. So we have to take that in consideration. However, the fact that we took out this liquidity is quite nice right there. So potentially, if you come back down right now, you tap into that area, come back down. We want to wait for a lower time frame confirmation for this one to go and potentially look for an opportunity right there. All right. So this could be very nice. The reason why I would like to wait for a confirmation entry is just because of this imbalance and inefficiency underneath that area of demand. and we want to make sure that we're not going to get taken out or got induced to go long a little bit too early still. So therefore, we want to see a clear confirmation before we potentially enter that trade opportunity. Also, because of course there are a lot of stop losses automatically underneath this trend. This is just what happens when people trade the breakout. People putting their stop losses right underneath that area. So very, very interesting pair. Really looking forward. I like the fact that people got induced too early to go long. These are taken out. Liquidity is taken out. We're entering an area of demand on the 1 hourly, and potentially we can start looking for a nice setup right there. So absolutely, absolutely fantastic. All right. We have Yo in the building, my man. He said, Lorenzo, my guy, what's up, bro? We have Alfano. He says, I'm looking on the USD Japanese short, 138.55 fix. I see an imbalance down there. Let's have a little look, my man. Sounds great. So you expect the DXY to come back down. Let's see if you can see that. I do see an opportunity here. However, I know the correlation between the USD and the Japanese yen is very positive. If you're looking from a macro standpoint, we can still leverage that. And therefore, let me see if I can find an example for you right now. It is very, very important to state that you can use this as a tool to potentially help you out with, the 10% like fundamental analysis we actually use always before looking at the chart right here, which is in essence the interest rates. All right. So we got a sum rate of interest rates right here. And we're seeing that the interest rates of the American states right now is around 2.5%. And we have the Japanese yen that's should be minus 1%. Yeah, minus 1%. So therefore, we have a net correlation of 1.65 and therefore positive correlation. So in my opinion, it could be a reason to take price higher in the next coming days, in the next coming quarter. And therefore, we're seeing already that has been happening right now. Okay. So therefore, potentially we can continue our way up right here. We're looking at the 4 hourly for a potential retracement indeed to look for higher prices right now. However, very, very important to state that we're seeing a clear confirmation or a clear we're holding support right now on the DXY here. And we need to see with the DXY tonight in a New York session exactly what will happen here. Okay, we can easily take out the zone right now, come back up a little bit earlier. That would state indeed that we would come back down. So that we would come back up more. Sorry. So if you come back down right now, one more time, tapping into this area, and we tend to hold support in this range right here. Looking at this particular zone right here, as we've created a nice higher high on the lower time frame, and we would hold support on this level. That could be a good indication for the US Japanese yen to actually come back down, tap into that area, and to take off from there, leveraging this area of consolidation here beautifully, and continue the way up. All right, Conrad, man, how are you doing, brother? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for all the support in the chat, in the Discord as well. If you guys would like to join my Discord, you can go to my channel, click on the link right there. Really, really looking forward to grow our community and build out the best community there. We have over 3,500 members in there, which would be absolutely fantastic if you guys want to be part of your journey there. All right. So we can share some setups here. We can look at some setups as well. But most importantly, if you look in any charts, let me know now so we can go over it as well. Our man Cam, we did a wonderful interview together. I'm extremely happy and grateful for this interview, as was the first official interview on a YouTube channel. So therefore, absolutely fantastic. Any EU or GU setups? Yes, we're going to look at GU in a second indeed, my man. EU I will check out for you as well. Aninda says, I'm on an Australian dollar Japanese yen short. Can you have a look at it? Yeah, sure. Let's have a look at that. So, yeah. So what we're seeing here is quite interesting, right? We're seeing a super clear trend. And this is what I always like to see. Whenever I see a trend that's extremely, extremely clear, then I state that there is just a lot of potential. I say potential liquidity up there. It doesn't mean that we can just come back up and break this area right here. But what did we see right now? We already saw a reaction from this zone. So let me clean it up for you completely. We're seeing a reaction from this area, right? We're seeing a reaction from this area of of supply here. I believe this is a clear 8-hour area of supply here, beautifully packed, right? We saw the reaction from this zone right there. Need to use this one. We saw the reaction right there. Okay, if we then zoom in, beautiful retracement right now. Looking at a clear reaction. We took out the liquidity that was already in this level right here, right? We had some liquidity that was built up underneath this range. We've taken out this liquidity right here beautifully, and including literally filling up this imbalance here as well. So we had some inefficiency right here as well. We have taken out that inefficiency right now. We tapped into that area, a premium area of supply here. And now we're looking at a beautiful trend full of potential liquidity, okay? I definitely take this very, very serious. So therefore, what we can do is we can zoom in. We can find a beautiful area of demand here, beautiful area of demand here. And what do we see when we zoom in a little bit? We're seeing a break of structure here. We saw this formed right here. So we saw this as a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low, right there, okay? So now we taking that in consideration, we can see exactly what we can do here. We can draw the fib from this area to this low. We saw the break here, perfectly aligning. And we saw a beautiful, beautiful area of supply right there. If you zoom in on the 30-minute, what do we see? We're seeing another order block right there. Sometimes I use a tool that's called the Sonar Lab Indicator. I only recommend it for you guys only if you have a good understanding of SMC yourself. I would not use this tool as a premium or as a, I would not depend on any tools or any indicators whatsoever. I would really, really recommend you guys to fully understand the SMC concept before, using any particular indicators. But sometimes it's nice to confirm our levels with. So therefore, we saw the 62% here. And this is an interesting zone, all right? This is an interesting area I really take in consideration. So for now, if we see, for example, the Australian yen or the Japanese yen coming up significantly, which in my opinion is looking very, very good because we're actually bouncing off from a significant zone right here. It seems that we're holding support and I kind of looking to come to this range right there. All right, we have to see with the New York session what will actually play out because the volatility will definitely increase from there. All right, but if the Japanese yen gets its strength back and holds support here, that could benefit us definitely with the Australian dollar and the Japanese yen, confirming our lower low here, retracing and actually looking for our confirmation entry on the 30-minute, as we already got rejected by the 8-hour area, a premium area of supply right there, breaking structure, tapping into that range to potentially, in my opinion, come back up here. We still want to see what's actually happening with the JPY currency index. If you get the confirmation, then this could be a great range to actually come back down and to take out some of that liquidity right here, using this as a potential entry. All right. We got our man David Moore with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, my man. You are a legend. Good morning to you, my man. As you know, yesterday you were killing it as well. Absolutely fantastic. Everything that you deposited on our channel will be used for giveaways and everything like that. So I truly appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for that. David, you're a G. You are a G. I appreciate you, brother. Yo says, I'm planning on selling EU at 69286, as that will fill in the imbalance. And it's in a downtrend. Could you check if this is right? Yeah, sure. Let's have a look at that one. At 69287. Yeah? All right. That's right here, right here. Let's write it down here. There we go. Okay. So what do we see here? Let's clean it up completely. All right. So we can have a good understanding of the overall market. I still believe that the overall sentiment of the market is bearish for the Australian dollar USD. And I think the DXY actually is showing significant strength and is still on the way up right there. So potentially we can look, in my opinion, still for lower targets. We have been confirmed this already multiple times right here. We saw the retracement right there. We saw a beautiful area of supply here. We saw the break of structure. And we're actually just completing the continuation right now at this particular moment. Okay. What I do want to highlight here, this is on a daily level right now, so we have to take that in consideration. We saw the reaction from that area. So let's go to the 4 hourly and look at a particular zone here. So this is the area of consolidation where we're looking for. First of all, we saw that reaction from that zone. We saw this area of supply holding perfectly right here. So this area of supply was mitigated. We broke structure once again. We came back up and we had the same reaction right there one more time. Okay. Again, on the 4 hourly right here. Very, very nice. So what we're seeing here is a beautiful area. And we saw the rejection one more time right now. Okay. So right now, again, same reaction. But to be honest, I really want to see a little bit more downside right now before we actually come back up, because we already have noticed again the reaction from that area. Okay. So we really want to make sure that, look at this area right here. We're constantly getting rejected from every particular zone right now. So this already has been mitigated completely. So in my opinion, we should look a little bit for more downside potential, and also state here that we have a nice area of a demand right now where we're also at the same time bouncing from. Okay. So I would personally not looking for a potential, short from this range. I would actually break structure here completely a little bit more to then retrace a little bit more price action and to then look for a potential opportunity right there, right? That will be a little bit more safe, in my opinion, looking at the charts right here. And therefore, I would be a little bit more careful. Let's have a look at EU as well. If you see something similar happening for EU. Yeah, so for EU, it's a little bit of a different story here. Okay, we have some liquidity built up underneath that zone, multiple areas of liquidity right now, which is quite interesting here. Look at that. So there's a lot of liquidity built up underneath that zone. I do like what I see there. However, we already have mitigated this area of supply, and we're still climbing up slowly right now. Okay, so what potentially can happen is if the DXY right now, and let's have a look at the DXY real quick, comes back down here. Okay, that means that we can potentially indeed tap up into this zone right here one more time. Let's see if we can hold support here one more time. And if we do hold support, then we could potentially look for a potential re-entry right here to potentially look for more downside to take out that liquidity, which is a nice range right there to fill up this gap as well of this liquidity that's built up there as well. However, we have to take a close eye on the DXY, because of course we have, first of all, a massive area of imbalance above this range. Okay. So massive area of imbalance above this range. We have a beautiful area of consolidation. We have an unmitigated area of supply right here that has never been mitigated before. So yeah, we definitely take that in consideration as well. So what do we want to see right now? And again, the Asian highs. Let's have a look at the Asian highs real quick as well. So we manipulated the Asian lows right now during this session, which is quite interesting. So that is a good sign. So now potentially, if you can take out the highs here, tap into that zone, it would be perfect. If you can look for an area right there, look for the confirmation, tap into that area and target these areas underneath to take out the liquidity right there. Okay. So a potential opportunity indeed. However, potentially if you can find a confirmation on the lower time frame to increase our risk to reward here, that will be even better. All right. Matthijs, do you have any FX books that we can see? All the results will be posted in the Manta chart. You can find it there in our Discord. So if you want to join our Discord, feel free to join. So we have our liquidity buildup for GJ. I think personally that GJ is looking very, very interesting right now for a significant amount of time. And the reason why I like GJ right now at this moment is because I've seen that we have been compressing down for a significant amount of time right now. And I think we're going to see something very, very interesting. I think we're going to actually see potentially higher targets in the near future. We've built out a lot of liquidity on the upside here. And therefore, I think that's very, very important zone to take in consideration as well. The moment we start building this range, we are actually kind of compressing right now. So it's just waiting for the price action to happen. Okay, so it's not waiting to look for a trade opportunity right now. I'm looking for price action to occur and to anticipate the price action. Okay, so if we start to make a solid move up or down, whatever it is, I assume up, to be honest, and we then see a lot of inefficiency in the market. We have a fair value gap there. We have some clear areas we can look out for, and we indeed are going up. Then potentially we can look for the retracement, to look for any opportunities there, to look for the confirmation entry. And I would definitely take that very, very serious, as we have a lot of upside potential, a lot of liquidity to be taken out on the higher time frame. So yeah, GJ, very, very interesting. Canadian dollar, something we were looking at yesterday as well. We took out these, this is quite interesting. We took out these lows here and started moving here. So I think potentially, to be honest, we can look for one more move down, tap into that range to then start moving up as well, because we're right now doing the same thing one more time. Okay, so let's see how this happens. The Nasdaq, very, very interesting. The VIX is coming into play right now. Okay, the VIX is finally dropping. And if you know what the VIX is the volatility index. And we take that very, very serious, because there is a strong correlation, or an inverse correlation, between the indices and the VIX right there. Okay, so if you look at the daily here for the VIX, what do we see? Let's zoom in a little bit in right here. We're seeing a beautiful area of demand here. We're seeing the inefficiency right there. We're seeing right now, again, a market neutral candle, potentially giving us an indication that we can potentially come back down to fill up that inefficiency right here. Okay, and to potentially then, from the daily level, bounce right there. Right, so from a daily area of demand. So if we would see that right here, what would we see here? Right, we have the US 100 right now. Okay, and we have two areas where to look out for. What is an area we could look out for? Well, definitely look at this massive expansion here. Okay, this is just another layer if the VIX would hold. But let's remove this one for now, because this is the most important one. We started to build out liquidity here, right? To the upside on the 4-hourly. How we started to see a trend. Stop losses were underneath that zone. We saw the news release coming out. This was on the 26th of August. That means this was Friday. We had some high impact news on a Friday for the dollar, which, boom, instantly took out all the liquidity right there. Therefore, the liquidity was purposefully built up right here to be taken out later. Okay, so what do we see now? A massive gap right here. Right? Very, very interesting. So, if the VIX would come down right now on a daily level, and there is a 85% correlation, inverse correlation between the indices and the VIX, right? Is it likely that we can come back up right now to then potentially retrace from this range if we bounce from that area? Okay, if we do bounce from that zone. Just to give you guys a little bit more perspective as well, if we look at these ranges right here, okay? So this is the US 100. This is the VIX right here. Let's use the inverted scale for the VIX. Let's look at the 4-hourly here. I mean, it's not completely accurate, right? But you can see the similarity, right? You can see definitely the similarity there, the massive expansion there, the the trend that was built up here, and so on, and the lower structures right there, right? And we take that very, very serious. The VIX we take very, very serious when we're looking at these particular ranges. So when we can identify an extremely clear area of demand on a daily level, okay, which is a very, very strong area of demand right here, then potentially we can start looking for the same thing on the US 100. Okay, so we're looking at the same thing right here. Let's invert it right now. Let's say we come back down, just like the VIX right now. Is it possible that we come back down, tapping into that area? Absolutely. Okay, Therefore, we would like to see if things are aligning here perfectly. And if we do align here, that could give us a nice indication of a potential setup, filling up the inefficiency, come back down. We saw the massive expansion already. We broke a clear structure right here. This was a very important level to potentially break as well. We have done that. We actually broke it again. And now we're seeing that we're kind of at this particular zone right here. Okay. But if the VIX will come down right now at this particular moment, we will definitely come back up to break that level and to start looking for higher targets there as well. Okay. We have indeed another area here that you could take in consideration. However, we really want to see the reaction of the VIX first before we make any drastic decisions here. And we, of course, have the massive amount of inefficiency literally above that level as well. So, all in all, if you do take that in consideration, I would suggest to wait for the VIX to come back down to see what the reaction there is, to then potentially fill up the inefficiency, and to potentially then take a continuation short from there. Which in essence would be very, very nice, because a lot of people trading also these head and shoulders patterns, just pattern traders, right? They see the breakout, they see the retest of that zone to then come back down one more time to continue the market cycle right there, right? If you guys want to know what a market cycle includes, most of the time what we're seeing happening is some sort of structure right here getting built up. Then we're seeing the reversal pattern coming into play on the higher time frame, to then continue the way down and to start a new cycle from there to continue the trend right there. So potentially looking at this particular trend right now, there is an opportunity to come back up to continue the trend from there. All right. So GU is something very, very interesting. I really like look out for right now on the lower time frame. This is a short-term trade opportunity we're looking at right now. I think potentially with the New York session, we can potentially see if this can come and play out right now, because the XY is still looking very significant right here and very, very strong. We are actually live on my own channel as well. Let me see if we have some chats right there as well. Let me check real quick what's happening there, so we can see if we can find some guys right here. Let's see. There we go. There we go. All right. What's up, guys? Absolutely fantastic that you guys are there as well. May, what's up? Thank you for being here, also in the London session. Hey, says yes, London live. Kumar says, where are you from, Lorenzo? I'm Dutch. I grew up in the Netherlands, but I have some Italian blood as well. But I do live in Indonesia right now. From Chen says, can you have a look at the euro Australian dollar? Supply zone over and double top liquidity. Absolutely, we can. Definitely we can. Let's do that. Let's have a look there. I do like to keep it as interactive as possible with you guys. You guys know that. So let's do that. And let's make sure that we can have a look at the euro Australian dollar right now. Also, guys, on a Friday, okay, we're going to do a live quiz, all right? We did that one before, was a huge success, so we're going to do it one more time. If you do want to join a quiz, then follow me up on Friday and have a look there, because it's absolutely fantastic. We're going to do a giveaway at that moment as well. But you probably need to have a lot of questions right, because the competition is real. Last time we had over 220 or 250 people in the actual live right there. So let's have a little look at Australian dollar, euro Australian dollar right now. So I believe, let me check real quick what the current setup is here. All right, so we have a negative correlation right there. So I think potentially we can look for any particular downtrend, and that confirms the levels. So we're definitely like looking to come back down further and tapping into this range right now. Okay, we are building out a beautiful, very, very clean trend right now to the upside. Okay, we have to take that in consideration. But what do we see here? We're seeing a beautiful area of supply here. We're seeing the reaction. We're seeing the retracement. However, let's see which order block we're reacting from. We have not reacted from that zone already yet. So what we can do, okay, is simply just look for the continuation down. Okay, I really quickly want to look at the indices as well. I want to look at the euro, and I want to look at the AXY to see what we can find there. But for now, even though that we are coming down right now, we have not tapped or mitigated this order block right there, or this base right there. Okay, so just so you know, guys, know we saw a nice rally. We're seeing the base right here getting created. We're seeing the drop, and we're seeing the retracement tapping into the zone. I think a lot of people get induced to go short here as well at this range. And I think these people are stopped out immediately right here. Okay, and now we're coming back down. So let's see what the reaction will be here. And look for this particular move, all right? So Lorenzo, hey Lorenzo, hitting that London session. Absolutely, my man. We're hitting that London session today. We're also going to stream the New York session as well. Yashank says, what's up, Lorenzo? Erica says, TP being 1.16 to cover the inefficiency. All right. That was GU. Okay. Let's have a look at that one. If you guys have any questions about the strategy as well today, let me know. All right. Let me know if that's good for you. And then after that, we're going to look at some actual trade setups to see if we can actually execute some trades on the lower time frame. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, David. We love to look at the charts. That's why our streams are extremely long. But I'm only doing it for you guys because normally I do not suggest to look at the charts for 6-7 hours a day. If you are learning and backtesting, absolutely. But if you just look at setups, then it's not necessary to do so to practice. You can use it, a couple hours a day, work on your skill. If you still have a job, you can still work. And on the side notes, just look at the charts right there and make some setups in the weekend, see if it actually plays out from there, see if you were right and so on. Do some backtesting for an hour a day when you come home, and like that, you will definitely have some practice right there as well. If you are ready, if you feel comfortable enough, you should start a small account. Okay. And just to clarify that to you guys as well, it's not really about the money, especially when you're starting out. It's just not about the money. It's about starting and choosing a strategy that fits your personality type the best. Therefore, you have to find out which one fits you the best. Okay. It can be a scalping strategy. It can be an intraday trading strategy like this, or it can be a swing trading strategy. Okay. Then look at some YouTube channels, look at particular types of strategies, execute these strategies one by one to filter them out. But in order to do that, it needs time. It takes time to do so because you need to really, create or gather some data as well, okay? You need to get smarter over time. You are an AI yourself, all right? Like we have a nice comparison with Tesla as well. People call Tesla a car company, which is in essence true. But what it actually is, it's a data company. It's a software and data company right there. It's collecting the data over and over and over again, right? All the Teslas that are driving on the street, they're driving, and this goes all to a massive AI that is collecting the data, is getting smarter every single day, so they can develop and optimize their software for electric car companies and license it out to them. All right. So I know that the comparison is not completely accurate. I get that. But the key of that concept is that data collection is very, very important. And you need to have more and more proof of your own strategy for yourself. Collect the data to then in pretty much use that later to leverage that for in the future, and to then start actually thinking about making particular money. That's why it takes time to become, profitable, or at least consistent in trading right there. How can it be your academy? Link is in my description, I believe, on my channel, or potentially on my main channel. You can just see and click on the Discord link right there. So yeah, let's go have a look here. Yeah, we're looking for the reaction here. Simply, we're looking for the continuation and the reaction right here. We have some starts here. We have a lot of liquidity built up on the outside, so it's a matter of time until we're going to see a short, maybe, short squeeze right there, potentially taking out some liquidity here. Okay, so I do take that in consideration, but I think potentially in a quarterly basis, we are still potentially on our way down from a macro understanding. You can see clearly that we're not looking, that bearish yet, and we saw the upside, we saw the change of character to the downside here. We see the retracement right now. We see the fact that we have induced people to go long here that probably got taken out as well. So the fact that we're right now filling up this inefficiency to potentially bounce from that zone to potentially come back down is likely right there. All right. So Australian dollar, Swiss franc. Let's have a look at that one. So I wonder who of our audience right now is actually trading SMC, because we are trading SMC in combination with price action, in combination with a little bit macro, a little bit fundamental analysis as well, fundamental understanding of the market. We use volume profiles. We have different tools. We use correlations and so on. So I'm very, very curious to what you are personally trading, what kind of strategy you're implementing right now, so we can see if you actually can move forward from there. So please let me know down in the chat right now what you are personally trading, especially from the guys on the Trading Nut channel, because I know that our audience right now is definitely trading SMC mainly right there. So please let me know. Please let me know. Are you Dutch? Yes, I'm Dutch, my man. You can probably hear it on my accent right there. Interest is only use oil. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Let's have a look at the Swiss franc right here. Okay. So again, what we always start with is when we look at a macro perspective, okay, and we're looking at the charts, I really we're most of the time like 90% technical. Okay, we're doing technical analysis most of the time. We're using these concepts as well. There are two different things we're looking for when trading fundamental, okay, or fundamentals right there. First of all, is there any news coming out? Okay, so whenever we start looking at a chart right here, is there any potential? Let's clean it up a little bit. Is there any news coming out, right, for that particular whatever setup right there? Tomorrow, today. All right, let's have a look. So in this case, the CPI for the Swiss franc is tomorrow. Okay. Is there a potential opportunity for the Swiss franc right now? Potentially, yes. Okay, why is that? We're gonna go over that in a second, okay? But we have news coming out, so that's one reason to look out for this setup right now. The other reason is the interest rates. Okay, we like to know exactly what the interest rates are, and the reason why we're looking at the interest rates is to just determine where they potentially can look to move price to from a macro understanding, from a swing trade position. Okay, so we have that. We're using the interest rates, and we're going to go over an example very soon. Then after that, we're going to look at the daily, confirm our daily bias. What are we seeing right there? Does it actually align with the formula we use when actually looking at fundamental analysis right there, and a potential news release as well? Does it make sense? Is it aligning there? Okay. If that is the case, then we can start looking at the daily bias. What do we see here? Okay. Are we actually looking at a bullish bias, or are we looking at a bearish bias? All right. From this moment on the daily, when we have confirmed our bias right there, then we can go to the 4-hourly. We can zoom in a little bit more. What do we see? We see a beautiful area of consolidation right here massively. We have expanded to the downside from this range massively. We have still a lot of inefficiency to be filled here right now. Massive gap here. We have never really mitigated this area. We have never really truly retraced to that zone. Also, if you draw the fib from this area, from this high to this low here, we are actually now just retracing from the 50% here. That was the first initial reaction. But the sweet spot is, of course, up here somewhere, right? This is definitely an area we take in consideration, or we take very, very serious. We do see a nice, beautiful drop-based drop right here. Okay, we take that one in consideration as well. We have a beautiful area of supply here. We're seeing that happening. We're seeing potentially already the higher highs getting created right now on the 1 hourly. Okay, so what do we see here? We actually extended. Okay, we built it out the trend here. We had some liquidity here built up in this trend right here. You can see clearly that we had equal lows here already built up right now. So this is the first sign. Whenever you can see a clear trend, or whenever a clear trend like this is built, this is the first sign of a potential, build out of liquidity right here in combination with the trend. So what happened? Of course, we start building out liquidity here, right? So this was exactly the moment when we start analyzing this trend. Okay, so we noticed this trend right here. We started analyzing this trend. We started to build out liquidity here. And how do we saw the liquidity getting built out? Well, clearly, look at that. We're seeing equal lows getting created, a clear, pretty much horizontal trend line right there. And this is quite interesting. We're building out liquidity right now while we're still significantly already in an uptrend right now. We had 1 touch, 2, 3, 4 touches already. And now we're looking exactly at the 4th touch here. I think this week I would consider as 1. This is 2. This is 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right there, building out liquidity right now. And what happened? Of course, accumulate, boom. Take out all that liquidity right here. Created a clear lower low structure right now. But then after that moment, when we came up, rather than just, retracing from this area, we actually created a significant higher high. Okay? So if you're looking at a daily bias, I personally believe that we're looking to continue our way up from now. And that we potentially are here to take levels or take price right now higher in the next coming days ahead of us. All right. So therefore, I was not looking for any short opportunity here. You could potentially have traded this trend. This was a short-term trade opportunity when you see liquidity getting built there very, very clearly. However, the way we like the retracement here is, of course, very hard. It was very hard to catch this trade with our particular strategy. Some people that are trading just the breakouts, they could have catch this trade opportunity right there. But therefore, look at this chart, they're looking from a macro perspective. I think they're going to look to take price higher at this specific range right here. This is something that we want to look for. Okay, and where can it potentially take price to? Well, we have to understand that what we saw here, right? This beautiful area of supply is very, very interesting. All right. And why is that? Well, we have built a lot of liquidity underneath above this range right here. We're actually forming a massive amount of consolidation. So whenever we come here right now, I would not take any long position. Whenever we come here right now and we're targeting this range, this is where I want to see the first initial reaction. And then based on that reaction, we can actually start looking and going to the lower time frames and start looking for any confirmation entries right there. We have a news release coming out right now. Therefore, I would really suggest to really be careful with any potential setups at this particular moment if you are in the trade right now. Because the CPI for the Swiss franc can be quite aggressive. Okay, so if that would happen and the news will come out, let's say, negative right here, then of course this would highly push the price back up towards this range and to then potentially see a reaction from this area. So let's wait for the news here to play out. Let's look at this range right here. We know we have a lot of imbalance right there. That's where we're looking for a confirmation entry, because we can potentially look for a range right here to potentially drop price further down eventually, but first coming back up to take out some liquidity and to see what we can do there. But potentially there is a big opportunity that we come up higher, as this is our higher time frame buys potentially telling us right now to potentially then reverse a price back down after that. So we're trying to capture a nice opportunity here on the lower time frame. The way we do that, just to give you an example, how do we look for potential confirmation trade? There are some things that we're looking out for. One is something different. It's an area of consolidation and kind of a wick of distribution we're looking for. The other thing is a simple, structure on the lower time frame, tapping into a premium area of supply, seeing a clear reaction from that area, creating a lower low here, right? To then look for potential Fibonacci retracement, to see where we can actually tap into, to then look for the retracement, to then come back down, to mitigate that area of supply, and to then continue our way down. All right. So if you have a confirmation entry, I would say, okay, this could be a great opportunity right there. If you do tap into this area of supply and see clear rejection from that range as well. All right. After news, after the volatility has been decreasing already, and yeah, definitely taking that in consideration. Alexis says, "But how many pairs do you recommend to trade?" Personally, when we are trading this strategy, we are very, very selective with our trade setups. Okay, so we have not a really particular filter in selecting our trades or the amount of particular pairs that we look for. Therefore, we just look at the Forex pairs, the indices, and some commodities right there. I was 100% sure you were Italian. Yeah, my name is 100% Italian. I know, brother. 100%, 100%. Yeah. I got some Italian blood there. My father is Italian. Let's see what's happening right now as well. Nothing spectacular. Oh, that doesn't look good right here. Let's see if it's loading right now. Okay. Sometimes our Indonesian provider is blocking us right there, just so you guys know. Nordics, my man. Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for being here. Sorry for that. Augustine says, use the code. What is your view? Before we go to the USD code, let's really quickly have a look right now at a potential setup I'm looking at. So we have GU. Okay. So for GU, I really like GU. I really like to potentially come back into this area whenever the DXY is coming back down right now. Tap into the range, tap into the 62%, and to come back up right here. And to come back down, continue our way down to fill up all that inefficiency right here. Okay. This is what I would like to see filled right now. I would personally not take any position from this range right now because of that. This is a potential trade setup that will play out very, very soon. I really do like what I see there. Therefore, only one thing needs to happen right now, and that is the DXY coming back down a little bit. All right, just a little bit. Okay, that's all we need. A little drop from the DXY to then potentially come back down right there. So we took out this area here. We took out these highs here. That's great. So now we can come back down, retest that zone, tap into this zone right here. I believe this is on the 30 minute, yeah. 30 minute. We can go and tap into the dead zone, particular zone to come back down. And if you do come back down for this area, we can actually come back up, tap into that area of GU to then mitigate our position and to take a short from there. Okay. So I'm definitely interested in taking a short from the 62% here. Come back down and take out these lows here. Okay. So hopefully we come back up right now and the DXY comes back down right now. So at the New York session or potentially sooner, we can take out this position. So this is one key trade I'm definitely looking at, the continuation of the GU setup right here. All right. The continuation to the downside. Australian dollar, Japanese yen. Very, very similar setup. Like I said, Japanese yen has some support right now. The index has some support right there. So I do think if we come back up a little bit for the Japanese yen, it will be good for us because then we can come back down here. For now, it would be great if we can just also fill up that inefficiency right there and continue our way down. So two different pairs I really, really like to trade today. Okay, potentially. Australian dollar, Japanese yen short, GU short right there. Okay, why Australian dollar, Japanese yen? Again, It's massive amount of liquidity. Beautiful trend getting created. Tapped into a premium area of supply. Created a low structure on the 1 hourly. Saw a clear 1 hour chalk right there. Beautifully aligning as well right here. So yeah, taking that into consideration. Retracement tap into the 62% right here. To then continue our journey to the downside to take out at least these lows here. Okay, we have this area of consolidation where we can review our first zone at. We can take this one right here, see what's happening here, potentially see what we can find here in terms of volume as well, to see what the reaction will be. You can see clearly that the point of control was a beautiful execution right here. Look at that. Again, this is why we trade volume. This is why we trade the point of control, right? We saw a beautiful area of consolidation. We saw the expansion. We actually created equal lows right there. That could have been a good sign for us to potentially look for higher targets, right? We came back down, tapped into the point of control, perfectly bounced from that range, and took off from there. It couldn't be more clean right there. Consolidation, expansion, creating liquidity on the upside, coming back down aggressively as well, right? Leaving us with inefficiency as well, another confluence. So this would have been a actual perfect trade opportunity right there, because it also aligned with a beautiful area of demand on the 2 hourly. But as you can see, the point of control immediately increased your win rate, or potentially your win rate, your risk to reward tremendously right there. Okay, so we had that opportunity right there. We could have taken a significant tight stop loss, place this under the last low, and then take out the inefficiency right there on the upside. So massive trade opportunity here. Absolutely fantastic. But right now, the question is, we're going to first bounce from this range, okay? So we're going to see first reaction from this zone. Therefore, we have to break trend. If you do have to break trend right here, it's going to get very, very interesting. But I do believe if you tap into the mitigate into the zone, we tap into this area of supply, and we come back down, we would have already been in a beautiful position. Therefore, yeah, already also in a decent amount of profit, and therefore we could have already taken some profits as well. Okay. Positive Vibe says, avoiding CPU news for Euro till after. I agree. Absolutely. 100% here. All right. Okay, so these two pairs are very, very interesting. US oil, very, very interesting. Okay. US oil is always stepping into our area of demand. We took out the lows, we took out the highs, we induced people to go long, reverse price back down, took out the New York sessions here after breaking trend massively on a bigger picture and retesting that zone. So we trapped a lot of people when we were long here. See the inefficiency. We took out the liquidity, now tapping into an area, a 1 hour area of demand right there. Okay. There, if you want to see the confirmation trade, we want to see the reaction from here. We are actually seeing a beautiful right now, beautiful high getting created, right? This is what you would like to see when you look for confirmation entries. You see this beautiful high, it's super clean at the 1 hourly. You want to see this one coming in, tapping into that zone, breaking that high right there, then looking for a potential area of demand, tapping in that area to then take off from there, and to then look for the complete trade opportunity right there. So in this case, the people that went long here got trapped, probably got stopped out. We took out the lows, then we were making a real move, and to then go for these highs right there. So yeah, that's how the game works. We're following the liquidity right there. We're seeing the potential shorters that stepped into the market here that exactly pushed price down heavily as well. So yeah, liquidity is also right there. There are also many, many layers that we can take consideration. And we have actually a beautiful area of suppliers. So potentially we can take out that range as well. So looking good from there. Looking good from there. So US oil, Australian dollar, Japanese yen, GU, 3 pairs we're currently looking at right now. Okay, GJ, not really. We're waiting for a massive expansion there. You guys know it right now. Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, also same thing. US 100, US 30, we have to wait for the VIX to be playing out right here. And gold also, I expect potentially more downside for gold right now as well. All right. So potentially, let's remove all the unimportant ones right now. Let's keep these three open right here, and let's review some of your charts right now. The USD cut. And also, guys, a big shout out to our man Cam Hawkins right there from Trading Nut. He has a wonderful channel. Absolutely fantastic, where it gives the opportunity to young, exciting, hungry, humble traders right there to tell them the story and to share them, share some information there. So absolutely love, respect for that. So you see right now, very interesting. So what do we want to see for UC right now? Of course, if you look at the Dexy, right, or the Dixie, we can come back down with the Dixie right now to tap into the range. If that happens right here, we can also potentially tap into this range right there. Okay, we know that the higher time frame bias is definitely bullish right now for the US cut. Okay, we saw the reaction here. People got induced to go potentially short here at this area of supply because we know that we're looking for actually a bullish bias on the higher time frame. We are not taking the short opportunity. Okay, so therefore we always have to take a lot of things into consideration. Okay, yes, we saw this beautiful range. Yes, we broke structure to the upside. Yes, we saw the change of character to the downside. Yes, we came back up to fill up that inefficiency right there. So yeah, beautiful short opportunity, you would say. But if the higher time frame bias or the macro fundamental understanding of this pair is telling us to go bullish, then we still try to avoid any types of setups there. Okay, so everything really needs to align there in order for us to make sense. Okay, but for now, the retracement of the Dixie right here, potentially coming back up down right here on the 2 hourly, I believe. 1 hourly, coming back down, tapping into the zone, seeing good reaction from that area. That would indicate that we would exactly come back down to this range right there or to this range right there. So the potential reaction, depending on how strong the actual reaction will be, will determine where we can potentially, in my opinion, look for a potential, long setup from to look for potential higher prices from there. Therefore, we have to come back down. We can potentially even break structure, create a lower low here to see what we can do here. The best thing will be if you can just look for the continuation here to come back up right there. So this is what I'm personally looking for. Let's put up the chat from our channel right now as well. Top 5 says, I just woke up. Why did you change the time of stream? We're actually streaming on Trading Nut his channel right now. Just so you know, it's getting rebroadcasted to my channel as well. But yeah, we're going to stream the New York session as well, my man. Did you feel like the market changed since last year with trading difficulties? Personally, not really. However, the month of August is always with a little bit of more news releases, a little bit more impact. It can be a little bit more volatile, a little bit more manipulation. So you have to be a little bit more careful with taking, your opportunities there, in my opinion. But overall, the beginning of August was a little bit slow for us. We were just in a slight profits. Actually, we had only a win rate of around 30%, which we put on my channel, put all the results there of the trade setups we did, just fundamental charts as well. All the shares and the trading ideas that we shared in there, and we actually only had a 30% win rate. So we only had, I believe, 2 break even, 5 losses, and 3 wins, winning trades from there. So yeah, and still made profit. However, we are looking right now at a little bit of a better reaction from the pretty much last 10 days. So yeah, the continuation of the USD cup makes the most sense to me. So therefore, guys, whenever we trade SMC and whenever we're looking for the perfect charts, it's really good to take some fundamental analysis in consideration as well, just at the beginning, and then looking at the higher time frame bias. If the higher time frame bias exactly aligns with that fundamental, statement, that analysis, look at the interest rates, look at what's happening right there as well. We are actually learning a lot from the people in our Discord server as well. So if you want to be part of that, when I'm not streaming, these guys are streaming there. So that's absolutely fantastic. All right. Do you mind checking Swiss franc, Japanese yen? Absolutely. Interesting. Let's have a look here. Let's have a look here. Let's also have a look at the charts real quick of our verified traders. Canadian dollar, Swiss franc. Okay, we're going to go over a few indeed. All right. There we go. All right. So in this case, this is quite interesting. So what do we see here right now for the Swiss franc, Japanese yen? Yeah, this is interesting. So what do we see here? Well, we have an area which I would think, okay, we could take out potentially these lows. We can definitely go for these lows right here to be taken out right here. Okay, this is the first thing I've noticed right here. We created a high structure, okay? So we should see some sort of reaction from this range right now, where we are right now. So what do we want to see? Well, we're looking potentially at a potential short opportunity, in my opinion. Okay, but the only way where we can look for that opportunity is we actually come back down to create significant lower lows here. So exactly, for example, take out these lows to then fill up that inefficiency right there, to then come back down. And I think this could be a potential, retracement to finally mitigate and tap into these ranges right here, okay? To go for that liquidity that's built up right here on multiple occasions, all right? So also, or multiple locations, sorry. Also right here, we're seeing this beautiful area here. Beautiful area of imbalance here. Right here. So yeah, we have a massive gap to be filled. So if we can actually come back up right now to create a lower low here, take out some of that liquidity here, mitigate price back up, fill up that inefficiency, tap into this area of supply, mitigate price back up, targeting this area of supply right here, to then continue our way down to fill up actually our overall pattern as well. Right here, we saw that we're coming up right here. We came back up, we formed the chart, boom, coming down, continue our way down from there, potentially targeting these areas of liquidity and inefficiency right there. So could be a great opportunity right there. We have still a long way to go potentially for the retracement. So if you see something like this happening, some lower low structure, some weakness on the lower time frame or on the mid time frames, right? The 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour, taking out some liquidity to then come back up to fill up the inefficiency, then I'll take this area of supply or this order block, this base, pretty much very, very serious. All right. So yeah, looking good. Definitely an opportunity we can look out for as well. But first, we need to create a significant lower low structure on the mid time frame right there. Just reading some comments, guys. Just reading some comments. See if we can pick out some information from you guys as well. If we can help you with anything right there. I don't know where to look. Which channel? There we go. Banda, I appreciate your message. Really, really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oil melting. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, very, very important. This is the setup we're looking for. We're looking for the oil setup right here. Absolutely. Everything is already. I think a lot of news is priced in for the oil right now. Akasha is here already. Aren't you living in the United States? Should be extremely early right there. Hope you're doing well, Akasha. We're doing a special episode today. And then tonight as well. Andreas' High Limitless family, what's up? Absolutely amazing that you're here. Akasha, how's your trade going? How's your New Zealand dollar trade going? Let me know. Yashank Singh says 30% rate, but massive risk to reward. Exactly. So win rate is very, very important to understand as well for a lot of guys that are watching that are trading different types of strategies, for example. Indeed, a win rate, it doesn't determine exactly how much money we actually make or lose. A win rate is just there to see if it aligns perfectly with your risk to reward. So let's say you have a one-to-one risk to reward, and your win rate is 60%, right? So you win more than you lose. You win 6 out of 10 trades, then you should be a profitable trader. Okay. If your win rate or if your risk to reward is a 5-to-1, then you can have a 20% win rate to break even, right? So therefore, we are personally going for the bigger trade setups, the 5Rs. 5Rs are quite good to go for similar setups. And because we're going for the 5R setups, we have to be a little bit more, specific with our trade setups. Therefore, we found a relatively good strategy to combine all the correlations together. And therefore, we could have hired our probability as well as much as possible. And the combination of that will allow us to have a win rate of, 30-40%. And then be, make a decent amount of profits right there. Dropsy says in Australian dollar shorts, AJ, AC, AU got in all of them. All right. Let's have a look at the currency. Let's have a look at the AXY right now. Just to get a global understanding real quick. Doesn't have to be that perfect. So we have this gap here. It's just real quick to see exactly where we're at. So we broke structure, we broke a lower low here. So it's indeed looking quite bearish here indeed. However, I think that we potentially, and this is very, very important, we could potentially retrace back up right now first to tap into a range right here. Okay, to tap back up and come back down. So for example, for the Australian dollar against the Japanese yen, this is a pair we're definitely looking at. We want to see price coming back up right now first to tap into this range, right? So any retracement right now for example, Australian dollar currency index would be actually great, because based on that, we can look for a potential entry right here. Target that zone, tap into that area, mitigate price back down, target this area of demand here, which was actually the point of control of this complete range right there. So yeah, potentially you can come back up right now, actually tap into that range, right? And let's have a look at the XY one more time. Come back up right now to tap into that range, right? to mitigate price back down from here. Okay, and we know for the JPY, we are actually holding support right now. Okay, we can still come back down right now, potentially. Let's see what the reaction will be here. But we're holding support so far. If you do tend to see also a potential come up for this one, we can actually combine it with the rejection of the AXY here, right? So if you combine both and things are playing out here, that means that we can really start digging in a bit deeper on the Australian dollar Japanese yen. Well, we know, look at the chart, that there's a lot of liquidity built up underneath that trend. There are a lot of people that went long here, right? People went long here, people went long here, people went long here, right? We already tapped into a premium era of supply. We already saw that rejection. We already took out that imbalance and fill up that imbalance right there and took out the liquidity. And right now, we are forming a lower low or a change of character on the 1 hourly right there. So on the 30-minute, we're seeing a clear zone that we can take in consideration. So there is indeed a lot of downside potential right now for both the currency indices and of course the actual retracement right here and all the liquidity that's underneath that area. So if we look for the entry right now, then this is what I personally think, that we potentially can look for high targets first right now to complete the overall reaction from, for example, this zone right here, tap into that range, see that reaction happening coming into play, because we created a clear lower low here, to tap into that range to then mitigate price back down and continue our way down indeed for the Australian dollar Japanese yen. Okay, so definitely that's one indeed that we can discuss right now. The other one that you said is Australian dollar is AC. Which one do you mean, man? Do you mean the Australian dollar Swiss franc or Australian dollar Canadian dollar? Let me know. And also the other one is the Australian dollar US dollar. So I truly believe indeed that for the Australian dollar US dollar, we can start potentially looking for short opportunities right there. However, not at this particular moment yet, because of this area of this 8-hour order block right here. We're seeing a clear reaction from this zone. So what do I want to see? I want to see at least either a clear break of this order block, tap into that zone to then mitigate price further down, or a retracement back up right now to tap into that zone to come back down. So if you look at the DXY as well here, to come back down would be great. So we can get up, tap into that zone to then retrace from this area and to look for the lower time for final confirmation there. Okay. This could be a great move right here. It's actually a beautiful 5-minute order book. We can use that one. We already created a significant higher high. We took out some liquidity that was built up here, tapping into that zone, taking out the levels here, coming back higher, combining this with the retracement right there. Dropsy said, we do not want a retracement for my sake. Right. Yeah, so therefore we can always look at the correlations, right? We can always look at the correlations between the currency indices to see. And if your question is supply, or does supply and demand works for a currency index? Well, absolutely, it does. It definitely does. All right, so we're seeing a beautiful reaction here. Look at that. We had this beautiful area of demand. We broke the highs, coming back up, retested that zone, and saw a clear reaction from this area. So definitely works. It was actually a 5-minute one. Look at that. What do we see here? We're seeing the drop, we're seeing a base, we're seeing a rally. If we zoom in as well, what do we see here? We're seeing a drop, we're seeing a base, we're seeing a rally, right? You guys know it, right? You know the market structures as well. We have discussed this sometimes on the stream as well. Whenever we see something like this happening here, right, we create a higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, right? Creating a break of structure right here, because a break of structure is a continuation of a higher high or a lower low in an uptrend or in a downtrend. So we saw that right here. Then suddenly out of nowhere, we created a lower low, right? We created a lower low here. So what happened? Created a lower low. Why is that? Well, something happened in this range. Something in this particular area happened, right? So this is what we call a rally, a base, a drop. right here, right? We can determine that also in the candle to determine our base, to determine an area of supply in this case right here. So we have our area of supply here, right? We're looking for an indecisive candle in the market, either a candle like this. I like to repeat it sometimes it's very, very useful as well. Like this. Tap into that zone. There we go. We're seeing either a candle like this or we're seeing like an order block like this right here. Right? We call that a market neutral candle or an indecisive candle right here. We're looking for these type of candles right there. Okay. We're seeing the confirmation. We're seeing a rally, a base, a drop. In that base, we're seeing that candle. We have that area of supply mitigated right now. Now we have cost our change of character right here. Okay. This is our cost with change of character. So what are we looking for? We're looking for the retracement, tapping into that zone, come back down, creating again lower low structures. Okay. Break of structure to the downside. So now we are seeing the break of structure because now we're in a downtrend, a lower low in a downtrend, forming a break of structure right here as well. Okay. Then we have something that's called fractal, where the fractal market. So we have internal break of structures. We have internal change of characters. It totally depends on the time frames, right? We can work our way around it as well. But if you then created a higher high again, what do we see here? Of course, a change of character, right? But how do we call that? A rally, base, drop. Oh, right there. And what do we see here? If we create a higher high, a drop, a base, a rally, right? So now we're looking for an area of demand right here, okay? And so on and so on. And it pretty much continues from there. This is how markets, move from there. And then from this moment, you can start looking at potential, areas of demand again. It can be right here. It can be whatever. It can constantly repeat itself also right here, right? So this is pretty much the way we are looking for particular areas in the market. Same thing for this one, same thing for this one, and so on and so on. So this is market structure. This is what we like to use right here. And just to clarify, we have 2 continuation patterns and 2 reversal patterns. So therefore, we can determine what our area of supply or demand is. So for the people that are new to SMC, this is pretty much how we look at market structure and how we pretty much define our areas right here, okay? Absolutely fantastic. We have 174 people watching on our channel. We have 104 people watching on Trading Nut. It's great to have some new guys here. Absolutely fantastic. Dropsy, my man. Nice to meet you, brother. It's great to have you here. Elite Video says, hey, thank you for the analyze. Would you mind to analyze the GJ? Absolutely. We can do that. We can definitely do that. So for GJ, that's a very interesting one. And this is something that I do not see that often. And why I like this one a lot is because I personally believe that we're consolidating heavily right now. And we are actually looking to come, in my opinion, to look for a higher bias, okay? To look for a bullish bias right here on the higher time frame. So what we are looking for is, of course, pools of liquidity, imbalances first, right? So what do I see here? I see an area of supply here instantly, right? We created the rally, base, drop, right? What did we see? We're seeing 2 beautiful areas of supply here. This is one of them. If we would take this high to this low here, what do we see? A beautiful area of supply at the 79 FIB right there. Okay, so this could be a nice potential target right now. Okay, what do we have underneath that area? Well, we have a beautiful area of imbalance underneath that range, right? Liquidity here, imbalance there. Liquidity built up here. People that went short here. Okay, we saw this zone, we saw this drop, but we broke the high here. People got in this to go short. Eventually, we saw a beautiful reaction here. Some people got stopped out, but eventually price mitigated price back down. Again, creating a clear trend here right now. Stop losses are here. Imbalances are here. Okay. So could that be a potential reason to take price back up right now? Absolutely. I think that's definitely possible. I think it's definitely a reason for a price to come back up to at least step into this range. All right. To see what we can expect from this particular area. Okay. So let's see. Knowing that we potentially can look for price back up, let's zoom in a little bit more right now. What do we see here? Well, we're seeing a beautiful area of demand right now. We're actually tapping into that range. That's why we saw the beautiful reaction from this zone. Okay. Area of demand. Right here, we actually form a reaction here. We have one more just slightly underneath that range as well. All right. It's absolutely fantastic. I would actually prefer this one. Why? Because here I cannot state a clear. Now I'm looking at it. Here I cannot state a clear area, right? We're seeing this drop base rally. So yes, area of demand for sure. But this is the area of demand I really like to see. I really like to mitigate. So this one is very beautiful. Or if this one is not, it's already mitigated by this one right here. So let's see what the reaction is from this range right here. So what we would like to see right now for GJ is highs getting taken out. Okay. Highs getting taken out right now. Tapping into that area. Come back down, tapping into that range. Mitigate a certain area of demand one more time to then take out that liquidity to mitigate that area to target higher prices from there. Okay. We are waiting. We are compressing. We are waiting for price action to be playing out right now. So this is something that we're looking for at this particular moment. We're waiting for price action to be taken out right now. All right. Lorena in the building as well. How are you, Lorena? Thank you so much. I saw your message in the Discord. I'll reply to it as soon as I can. I get a lot of messages right now, but I will definitely come back to you. So definitely see to read your message later. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. In the meantime, we saw an alert from the US oil. Okay, we're tapping into this zone right now. This is nice. This is interesting. Let's see. We're tapping into this area. Let's see what the reaction is from this range. Okay. Very, very curious what the reaction will be from this area right here. Because this was a beautiful, beautiful, clear high. Okay. So the only thing that we want to see right now is that this high will get broken. If this high gets broken, we tap into that range. Boom, we can look for an opportunity. Until that moment, there is no room for entry right now. Okay. There is not really a room or not really a confirmation for our potential trade opportunity right there. So this is what we're looking for. We have the imbalances underneath that range. So we can take out that inefficiency right there. So let's take that into consideration as well before we make any drastic moves there. All right. Dropsy says all the Australian dollar pairs are dropping hard. Let's see. Nothing spectacular yet at the moment. Brick says, let's go keep it fire. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. Giuseppe says, hello, everyone. What's up, my man? How are you, brother? Good to have you here. There we go. Cham says, can you look at my Canadian dollar Swiss franc analyze in the Discord? Absolutely. Yeah, some of you guys are asking it. Sorry if I missed some comments right now. I'm looking at different channels as well to look at the comments there. Baby's Lorenzo's ignoring me for a week now. Oh, sorry, man. Sorry, brother. Okay, Canadian dollar Swiss franc. Okay, let's have a look at it. So this is interesting, right? So I think personally that we have to take this very, very serious right now. So what do we see here? We indeed saw a reaction here. Where is it? From this area of supply, right? That's correct. We saw a reaction from this area of supply here, like you stated, right? However, if we take out the interest rates right now, okay, and we used it as a tool of reference right here, what do we see here? We're seeing that the Canadian dollar interest rates are 2.5. We're seeing that the Swiss interest rates are minus 2.5, right? So that means we have a positive correlation with the interest rates right here. So therefore, if you zoom out a little bit, the question is, Are they looking to take price higher right now? Because there is definitely a potential that they can look to take price higher. Okay. And this works per quarter, right? So this was just released. These new numbers are just stated. And do we see already the reaction right here? Yes, we already see a nice uptrend getting created. Is there a lot of liquidity on the upside? Yes, absolutely. We still have a massive amount of liquidity on the upside that's built up for a significant amount of time already in the last month right there. We have a massive gap. It has not been mitigated yet, already for a significant amount of time. So if you zoom out from a higher time frame perspective, like, is there just a lot of are there a lot of reasonable reasons for it to come back up right now? And I do believe so. So therefore, even though that we saw a reaction from this area of supply, right? We saw this area getting here. We saw this lower low getting created. We saw this reaction right here. I still think personally that we are here to actually form something like this to take out these highs here to potentially mitigate this area. So this indeed got a lot of people induced to go short. So every trade is different, right? So whenever we just look at market structure sometimes, we can get fooled a little bit by what we see. Sometimes we really need to zoom out a little bit and really see if we align with the fundamental analysis as well. This is something that I've been working on lately as well and found very interesting. And I definitely think that this is a bonus to share with you guys as well, that the correlation between, a little bit of fundamental and, technical can definitely benefit us, especially, okay? So therefore, potentially, what I can see now is that we have taken out liquidity here. We came back up. We took out these equal lows here. Right here, we saw equal lows. We've taken out these lows here. And now we're coming back up right now. So if you do see the reaction here, beautifully, there is indeed an area of supply here that we can mitigate potentially. However, I am just very, very careful right now. Whenever I take a trade, I only take trades like these. So the last trade that we took from the Canadian dollar Swiss franc was indeed a short, all right? The reason why is because I really like what I see here. This is an exemption I make for myself. So we came up, started to consolidate. Beautiful, kind of an head and shoulders here, but I don't really look at the pattern. But we saw the expansion here, create a lower low here. We saw the retracement here, okay? We saw the point of control aligning beautifully with a beautiful area of supply on the lower time frame here. We saw that reaction from that zone, and we mitigated price back down. So the moment we broke structure on the lower time frame, when we saw the confirmation trade, we took a trade position, and our stop loss immediately went to break even, okay? The moment we created that lower low, our stop loss went to break even, and better that we did because our stop loss got taken out on break even as well. And therefore, personally, I would be very careful with shorting the market right now. This is one exemption I make whenever I see something like this happening. But just from this regular standpoint, I like to be a little bit more cautious right now with taking any shorts for the Canadian dollar Swiss franc, because the higher time frame biases are telling us to go the other way. Poppy says, good day, first time joining all the way from South Africa. I appreciate you, man. Welcome to the Trading Nut channel, my man. Great to have you here. Absolutely fantastic. Adir says, hi, my man. How are you? I'm doing great, brother. I'm doing great. Thank you so much, man. I'm doing great. We look at the charts. Chilling. Life is good, man. Life is good. Mohammed says, hi from Singapore. What's up, my bro? Absolutely amazing that you're here, man. We're going to stream the New York session as always tonight as well. So we take that in consideration, guys, for you guys that want to join that too. In the meantime, let's have a little sneak peek right here. Okay, so we see the initial reaction right now from US oil. Beautifully. This is the reaction that we would like to see right now. Of course, we're seeing some buyers stepping into the market, right? So what do we want to see? We want to see this high getting taken out right now to mitigate our price, come back down, look for confirmation, a beautiful trade setup. With an extremely high risk reward, guys, really. We're going to take out these highs here first. We're going to plan to take out these highs first. However, keep in mind that you have to understand one thing that's very, very important. And therefore, I suggest also, just in case, to take some profits here. And why would I take some profits here? Well, the reason is, we know the story, right? A lot of people that entered this this potential trade setup right here on the 4 hourly. Okay, we're seeing a massive trend. We broke the trend. We came back down. We retested that area. Okay, we created liquidity underneath, equal lows, 2 New York sessions. These lows were not taken out yet until today. Okay, what happened here? From this moment, we saw the confirmation for a lot of people, right? They see the trend getting broken, breakout, retest, expansion to the upside, right? But what happened here? Rather than that, the reverse price induced a lot of people to come back down. You see this green big vector candles right here? These are people going long right now. Inducing people to go long, saying, okay, we're going to go to the moon right now. We have seen a retest. Boom, let's go up. Boom, retest off a beautiful trend break. Right, so a lot of traders from other strategies stepping into the market here. We reversed price back down immediately to take out these lows, right? However, what happens if we would come back up right now? We fill up that inefficiency and we tap into the zone. Guys, let me down in the chat. What do you think will happen? Okay, and give me what do you think the reason is for my answer soon, right? Please, what do you think? What do you think the reason will be? I would love to have your opinion about it. Let's see if you guys know it. I'm looking at both channels right now. Look at both comment boxes right here on the Trading Nut channel, and I look at on the Trading Nut channel and on my channel. So I'm looking at both of your reactions here. Let's put it together. What do you think will happen here? Bowser says, love the Discord. Lorenzo growing fast. Thanks, my man. Yeah, 3,500. If the Khan says liquidity takeout stops. Liquidity. Selling pressure. Fully focused on selling pressure. All right. Any other guys? Okay. So if you look at this chart right here, thank you for your answers, guys. If you look at the charts right here, what do you see? Well, clearly we saw the successful retest. We came back up. People got induced to go long, right? So then people were euphoric. Okay, we're going to go to the moon now. Massive trade opportunity targeting, the 0.5 or 50% right here. Massive trade, right? Beautiful trend has not been broken in about 2 months. More than 2 months from here. Okay? So the moment we went up here and we immediately reversed price to take out that liquidity was also meant to trap people that went long there. Okay? So people that went long there, okay, some people got stopped out right here, right? But there are also people that are still in position right now. And the reason why they're still in position is because they, how it goes. Some people, they just don't want to give up on their position, right? They do not want to give up on their position. They're like, shit, I'm stuck right now. Let's just hope that price comes back up. And then when it comes back up, let's say, they're like, oh, phew, stop loss and break even. They're like, oh man, phew, it saved me. Well, people are out of the trade as well. Boom. So people know that whenever we come back up right now, because we know that a lot of people are trapped here, a lot of people are trapped, come back up. These people will close their position and break even. Shorters know that. Okay? So then, because we fill up all the inefficiency right there, shorters will step into the market again. Okay? So then we have a combination of people going out of the position on break even. So the buying power is decreasing. Selling pressure is increasing because people that go into the market are shorting as well. Okay? So therefore, even though that this is a beautiful time to go long here, we have to take that in consideration. And the way we can do that is by either do 2 different things. Okay? And I do not recommend this to everyone, but I personally do sometimes is whenever I catch this trade here, we created a higher high, we come back down to create a higher low, and then we move back up to that specific zone because I know there are a lot of people trapped there. Then I will potentially open a hedge position. Okay? That means I open a long and a short at the same time. So I already have my long here, and then I open a short position here. That short position will be 50%, okay, of my long position in terms of lot size. All right. Let's say we break through it. Okay, fine, beautifully. We wait for the retest of that zone. We break, we exit our short again. Make a tiny, tiny loss on our short position. But because our long position is still bigger, we make more money anyways. Okay, so it does not really matter. And we can continue a journey upside. So this is a way to protect our funds while we're entering this range, right? Another way is a very simple way, just take out 50% of your position and, wait from there, put your stop loss on break even and see what happens from there. So two opportunities right there. Yeah, pretty much the way we can look at the potential opportunity here, man. Personal preference, guys. Personal preference. So the fact that we reacted from this area right now is really nice. Let's see what the reaction will be here. We want to see a significant reaction, though. Otherwise, we will not take this opportunity because of all that inefficiency underneath that range. All right. Same thing counts for GU right now. We want to see the DXY coming back down a little bit right now, and we want the US oil, the Australian dollar, Japanese yen, coming back up also a little bit. So this is what we're doing. We're looking for the zone, tapping into that area, targeting a 6.7 to 1 right there, potentially playing out either tonight, very, very soon, or GU. Let me know if there are any other pairs we need to look at. Okay, we're streaming already for how long right now? 1 hour, 40 minutes. Let's look for, let's see how long we are allowed to. Let's see for how long we are allowed to. Selling pressure on Euro USD. Yeah, I think the overall bias from the Euro USD is definitely down. Can you believe it, guys? This is absolutely incredible right now. Can you believe this? $1 equals 0.99.4 euro. This is history, guys. You are part of some significant history right now. Can you believe that? For the first time in 20 years, the euro is weaker than the dollar. This is absolutely insane. All right. I grew up in the Netherlands, right? We had, when I was young, so when I was 6, 7 years old, the euro came out, right? And a lot of retailers, so a lot of people that had stores, they had a very good trick. And the trick was the moment. Okay, so just to give a clarification, we had something that's called the Dutch gulden. Okay, this was the world currency a couple 100 years ago. No joke. All right, the Dutch gulden. What happened here with the Dutch gulden was, whenever the euro came out, okay, 2.2 gulden was 1 euro. Okay, just so you know that. So that means that 1 gulden was right about 0.45 cent, euro cent, right? Then from this moment, okay, what did the retailers do? Retailers, they had stores, right? So whenever they see, for example, they had their stores and they had their food prices and everything. And let's say I want to buy whatever, a drink for a gulden, okay? What they did was they turned everything into 1 euro. So from now, it was not 50 euro cents. No, they turned it into 1 euro. So they just used the exact same euro prices as gulden prices, right? So in a day, all the prices in our country doubled because all the retailers did it. If this guy does it, then I'm going to do it too. If he does it, then why should I do it, right? So within no time, everyone doubled their prices in our country. So that was the first thing that happened with the euro, okay? Fine. Then euro went up tremendously, right? Pretty weak dollar compared to the euro. $1 was around $1.40 at the highest, at the peak, I believe. And now we are weaker than the dollar. So this is really, really bad right now for the economy in Europe. Has multiple reasons for it, right? We all know why. But very, very sad to see the euro under the dollar. Just wanted to share that real quick with you guys because our lovely euro is collapsing. So the euro is a disguise of the Deutsche Mark, just rebranded. Yeah. NGL time was better. Golden time was better indeed for us as well. Yeah. Is there a potential short in the Canadian dollar Swiss franc? I do not recommend a short here. You see it already. We talked about this 20 minutes ago or something like that. We are looking for higher targets for the Canadian dollar Swiss franc. Okay. Even though we have a reaction here, the overall bias tells us that they potentially want to take price higher from a macro standpoint right there. So potentially this area, even though it's a beautiful area of supply here, and we saw the rejection here, it's not convincing enough for us to go potentially short here. On the 4 hour, and especially not on the 1 hour now. And as you can see here, we are already taking out these supply zones right now. Right there. Saksham says, how are you, sir? I'm doing very well, my man. Good to have you here. Fantastic, my man. Is Australian dollar, Japanese yen an aggressive entry? Let's have a look at the currency indices one more time. So we're coming back up right now. It totally depends right here. Yeah, I think there's definitely more downside for Australian dollar, Japanese yen. We already had a confirmation here. I think that the overall bias right now is coming back down in these. The reason why we took out the liquidity here on the higher time frame. We tapped to a premium area of supply. The overall bias is indeed exactly what we're looking for right now. The indices are aligning with that, holding support on the Japanese yen. Doesn't mean we can come back down right now first a little bit. But yeah, I think there is a lot of downside potential, for Australian dollar, Japanese yen. So I think I would look for a limit order here. Place a limit order at that particular level. Yeah. Joe says, after a lot of practice, I finally have the same setup as you for USD. Amazing, my man. Great. Yeah, let's look at the Euro USD then. Yeah, we just need to see what the reaction will be here. We just need to see what the reaction will be. All right. The most important thing that we need to look for, and I think the GU aligns the most with our DXY pair, is what we're seeing here happening. All right, the DXY. Any retracement from the DXY will be appreciated right now. Tap into and mitigate this area. Tap into that zone. Continue our way to the upside to continue our journey with the DXY. Right here. Look at that. Just to give you guys an understanding, right? On the weekly. The macro understanding for the DXY real quick. So look what we're seeing here from the technical standpoint right now. Okay? These were lows. These were equal highs here. Never been taken out, right? This was in 2016, guys. This was in 2020. Okay? It's kind of funny because every time we dropped massively, crypto was pumping extremely hard, right? 2017 here and March 2020. All right? Nonetheless, all right, we broke it finally. We broke that area, came back, retested that level. Now we're taking off from there. Okay. So do we still have a long way to go? I personally believe that we can still definitely look for more upside here. If you combine the interest rates as well, we had a pretty negative correlation with the British pound as well. So these combinations right here, looking at the weakness of the, the big C right here, it is just all making sense right now. So what are we looking for? A tiny retracement right now on the DXY to look for a particular area of supply on the GU to then determine exactly what our potential entry would be there and continue our way down. Euro CPI in 10 minutes. Yes, we're going to wait for this. We are going to wait for this to come out. We are going to wait for this to play out. Indeed. Let's have a little look. Let's see what the reaction is here. We're going to keep a close eye on the euro right now. Okay, because this can, and then we're going to also look at the euro against the USD because we know that the DXY is coming back up right now. Okay, but let's have a look here. There we go. All right. Liquidity here, guys. Liquidity is built up there. Interesting. Every time when we're seeing a little bit of medium or high impact news coming out, it's always funny to see that there is liquidity built up there, right? I'm just saying. Just saying. Are we going to take it out while the euro is dropping here? Let's see. We have indeed 10 more minutes to go. I want to see the reaction of the euro index right here. Okay, give me 1 minute, guys. Be right back. Be right back. There we go. All right, while we're waiting for the news, guys, we have a new teacher right here. Let's have a little look right here. What do you think? What do you have to say? What do you think the euro is gonna do today? Huh? Who is this? Yeah, that's Neo. Where's Neo? Yeah, Neo's there. Look at him. Ah, there we go. Okay. Sorry, we work with a different software here. So you guys should hear me right now. Is that correct? Let me know if you can hear me. We're working with a different software here. So it should work. I was talking about okay, beautiful. All right, guys, sorry for that. There we go. The silence is real. Okay. So we have 2 minutes for the euro index to come out here, right here. What do we see here? What I said was very, very interesting. Whenever we see news coming out, related to the CPI or some high impact news in a particular level, always look if there is some sort of liquidity built up around of that time right here. And what do we see right now? We exactly are coming down. So the moment we were like around about this range here, we saw this area of supply here, and we had this liquidity here, and we saw that reaction from that zone. We saw something interesting happening, right? News coming back out right here, creating, of course, first a higher high to get all the liquidity out to then create a lower low, right? So pretty much very interesting coming down, take out the liquidity, create a higher high to then reverse price back down. So very interesting right now. This is a massive reason why we are coming back down right now. News should come anytime soon. Let's discuss that and see from there. But this is something very, very interesting to look out for. So I will show you some more examples of that and combine it with the news releases we saw. Okay, you can definitely take that in consideration. So let's have a look here. There we go. Simple and news is the number one manipulation tool. I agree. 100% news is made to manipulate, and therefore they need to take out liquidity and build up liquidity, right? But this is what we're looking for. If we can spot the liquidity, we can potentially even spot the outcome sometimes as well. Yeah, we're going to look at the Euro USD after that. We're going to look at the oil indeed. We're going to look at some other things as well. AJ has left us. Let's see. We broke these highs, so we still have an inefficiency here. Yeah, let's see how this plays out. If not, we can break structure here and look for a re-entry. That's completely fine. Okay, probably the news is interesting. The news is positive. So what's happening here? Let's have a look at the Euro USD. Okay, liquidity has been taken out, right? The lower lows have been created here. Liquidity has been taken out right now. All right. So that means from this moment, we should see a positive reaction. Let's see real quick. I'm in the trade. I'm in the trade. Gold in buy. What do you think? All right, let's have a look at that. In the meantime, guys, smash that like button. I would highly appreciate that. On Trading Nuts channel and on my channel, we're building out the best community out there, guys. I'm truly, truly grateful. I want to build a solid community so my son can take over the game and can even be more funnier than me. Can you imagine? Okay, we took out the liquidity here. We're seeing the reaction right now coming. Okay. So that's so interesting, right? We came back down to tap into that zone. Whenever the news was positive, we're moving back up again. That would be crazy, right? Moving back up the moment we took out the liquidity right here. The timing couldn't be more perfect. The timing couldn't be more perfect. Let's also have a look at the US oil right now. Okay, beautiful. Okay, no confirmation yet. Oil is dropping here. All right. If we come here to take out this imbalance here, beautiful. Then I would definitely take this one in consideration. Let's have a look at the DXY. The DXY is also holding decent. We want to see retracement for the DXY right now. Okay. So we can enter some, we can look for a position for GU. I like the overall bias on GU. I'm really excited to actually look for an opportunity here whenever we see a short-term retracement of the DXY. Yeah. So what do we see here? Okay, we see this reaction here of this area. It's actually not this one. It's actually this one. This is the base we're looking for. Right here. So we see the reaction here. Of course, we knew that this was a reaction here. So this could be the retracement right now to take GU higher. Okay. So now it's the question of how can we formulate a beautiful alignment with the DXY and the GU setup right here. Okay. We know that the overall sentiment of the British pound currency index is quite bearish. All right. It is quite bearish right now. Okay. So we definitely are looking for any particular, bearish continuation there. The DXY is potentially slowing coming back down. But I think it will be only a short-term, a short-term release from there, a short-term reaction from this specific zone because of this area of supply here. So if you do come back down right now, then this is the moment to start looking for potential setups for GU already higher. Okay. One of them is definitely this one. I'll definitely take this one in consideration. I really like the setup here. You have the inefficiency there. And why is everything dropping again? Yeah. It's not looking good, man. It's not looking good, bro. However, we can still anticipate. We can anticipate. We are traders, right? If we want, we can short it all the way down if we have to. So, yeah, let's do that. Also, I saw some questions about Bitcoin as well. So Bitcoin is interesting right now. Okay, we tapped into that area right now. We're seeing the reaction here. Again, we saw that reaction right there on the 30 minute, yeah. 30 minute. Beautiful reaction here. One more time. I think the Bitcoin right now, guys, and I have to be honest, I think Bitcoin is ready to create some lower targets right now to maybe go for the, the next layer down, the next step down. You guys know that I'm pretty bearish about Bitcoin lately. Okay. After the reaction here, we kept stepping back up. We broke structure to the downside here. Massive expansion here. Took out a lot of liquidity there. Massively. Look how aggressive this price moved as well. This is what I said, guys. Every single time when we're building up liquidity, and the combination of liquidity and inefficiency in the market is interesting, right? What do we see here? We're seeing, of course, a beautiful trend, right? You guys know what inefficiency is, right? Inefficiency is pretty much if 3 candles, candle number 1 and candle number 3 are not connecting with each other. Okay, very, very important. So what do? We're building out liquidity. Okay, we come back down aggressively. Why so aggressive? Again, to take out the stop losses that were underneath this range. And especially with Bitcoin, there is a lot of manipulation. That people are putting the long. There are a lot of retail traders in that just started out in trading, and they start trading Bitcoin first. I was one of them, right? I was one of them. So we start here going long, stop loss there. Going long, stop loss there. That's why we move so aggressively. If we move slowly, and people can just put their stop loss and break even and say, okay, I'll take next trade. No, it has to be fast. All the liquidity is here. We have to move price fast. Okay. However, what happens is that it leaves us with the inefficiency in the market. All right. This is where it leaves us with. So we have a tool. This is our Sona Lab indicator. We use this sometimes, but this is just to understand that between this range and this range, there is a massive gap. Okay. A massive gap that has not been mitigated yet. What happens most of the time whenever we see the inefficiency in the market, we have an order book, right? Buy orders and sell orders. Liquidity has been taken out. The order books are empty. The inefficiency, there is an inefficiency in the database pretty much. See it like that. We come up, fill up these orders again, come back into the system, step up, fill up the inefficiency, come back up again, boom, and then continue probably the journey down. Okay, so this is exactly how liquidity and imbalances in the market go hand in hand, right? What do we see here? Let's go back a little bit. What do we see here? Same thing, right? We saw a beautiful trend getting created. People went short. People went short. Stop losses above that area right there. What happened? Boom. Again, aggressively. You see that? Aggressive move. Strong vectors right here. What happened here? Inefficiency in the market. Aha, okay. Boom. Filled up the inefficiency again. Right? So we built up liquidity to the upside. We built up liquidity to the upside here. We built up stop losses on the upside. We built out liquidity on the downside right there. What happened? Came back up aggressively, took out that liquidity here, built out liquidity here, fill up the imbalances here while taking out the liquidity there. It's a continuous journey. So look for areas of imbalance and liquidity, especially, guys, and I'm saying especially in crypto. Because in crypto, the market cap is lower. It's easier to manipulate the markets. It's easier to put price and move price around. Therefore, it's easier to build out and trap people. That's why crypto is the perfect place to trap retailers. Because first of all, there are a lot of people that are starting trading and they started to trade Bitcoin, right? I got introduced to crypto before I got introduced into Forex. Many other people I know too. Therefore, a lot of them, what they trade is trend lines and these basic formulates, basic patterns right there. So, the combination of imbalance and liquidity are highly, highly beneficial. I really wanted to share this also on this channel right here for you guys, that it is a great tool to observe the market and what's actually happening in general. Okay. And therefore, this works with equal lows. It works with whatever, everything that we're seeing right now. So unfortunately, we are breaking the zone, but fortunately, we have a 1 hour area of demand underneath that area, and we have that inefficiency right there. Okay. So if you come back down to fill up that inefficiency, beautiful. Okay. That would actually fantastic. So we can look for an opportunity there. GU. We're looking for GU to come back up right now. We're tapping into the zone. If you do see the confirmation right now, then this is the moment to do so. Come back down, tap into an area to then mitigate price further up, right? Still assuming on the higher price that the price is in general upwards right now, right? People are still risk off at this moment. So let's see if we come back up right now, tap into that zone and then come right there. Possible to short ETH. Let's have a look at ETH. Yeah, so we actually, man, that short on ETH was pretty crazy. Where was it? There we go. Okay, for now, the cycle is continuing, right? So again, consolidation, expansion, 1, 2, 3, market cycle, 1, 2, potential one more leg down, potentially, yeah. So let's see where we can end up indeed. However, we want to wait for the confirmation here as well. We want to see exactly where we're ending up right now in an area of supply. So potentially, I would say look for this area right here. A little bit of high target. And does smart money concepts or supply and demand works for crypto? Absolutely. However, I require a little bit of a different stop loss strategy. Okay. So rather than having a tight stop loss like we have in Forex or commodities, we're using a soft stop loss. That means that we are actually holding our position open and wait for the 1 hour close above that area to then close down our position. So this is pretty much the only difference that we make, just because of the wicks and everything that we can see here. So yeah, I would love to short Ethereum if it aligns with some other factors in the cryptocurrency market. We know that what's happening with the thing is right now that the Bitcoin dominance is stagnating. It's actually dropping. While it should go up when Bitcoin goes up right now, but it means that everyone is putting their money right now into USDT or other assets right there. So let's see how this plays out. I'm still a big believer in the long-term value of cryptocurrencies and so on. But for now, I think that we need to come back down. All right, we have been streaming for 2 hours and 10 minutes. I think it's time to take a little break and to continue with the New York session in a few hours on our own channel. I am truly, truly grateful to be here on this Trading Nut channel. Absolutely fantastic. Cam is an absolute legend. Thank you so much for hosting me. I'm super, super grateful. Let's see if he's here sometimes as well. If not, then I will just close down the stream very, very soon. Thank you all guys for being here. If you do like what I'm doing, we're going to integrate some trades. I think some of our setups will play out during the New York session. So let's see right there. Okay. We are trying to work on our skills, work on our educational content as well, while we're also live trading, while we're also dropping bombs and building a massive community out as well. So if you do want to join our community right now, be fast, because there are potentially some changes coming. Right now, it's completely free. 3,499 members in our Discord right now. We're crushing it. We're building out enough, solid traders in there. Also, the verified traders. We have all of our setups in there. We're doing the mentor charts in there. Everything that I'm doing personally, I'll let you guys know right here and see what we can, what we can do there. If my stop loss gets hit, if my take profits is there, if my stop loss on break even, whenever I'm in a position, I will let you know. And I'm also doing the Sunday weekly breakdown, which is an unlisted video on my YouTube channel where you can look at all the setups I'm looking at on a Sunday. And around the New York session, every New York session, most of the time, we actually have also a nice Discord, voice chat, community always coming together, dropping bombs. We have our man, our voice chat moderating, giving valuable lessons there, and is always open for discussion. There's always room for discussion, for a debate, for learning together, and so on. And it's absolutely fantastic. So if you want to join, you know where to find me on my channel somewhere. Link is somewhere there in the description or in my channel. Guys, I'm super grateful. Looking forward to the New York session one more time. I'm gonna create a beautiful setup for tonight. Beautiful sessions for tonight as well. Gonna be a long stream as well. So yeah, I'm again super grateful to be here with Cam. Hopefully we can come back anytime soon to do some analysis as well, some more analysis in, for example, the weekend. Would be great. Let's see what he thinks. For now, put the link in the description here. For now, absolutely fantastic that I was able to be a part of this journey and of this interview in general. Looking forward to build out the best, strongest community out there in crypto or in Forex right now, in trading in general, to bring a lot of like-minded individual traders together, to build out a community, work on our skills, and to take the extreme next level from there. So thank you guys so much for joining. Love all of you guys. We're building out huge friendships, relationships in this community. It's absolutely incredible. Couldn't wish for anything more. Much love, peace. See you in the New York session. Ciao, ciao.